Alright, so this is my family preparedness class. I'm recording it for the group people that can't be here, but I'm putting it on YouTube for YouTube people to watch too. And this is a practice run for one I want to do for the church, and I want to start doing ones for other churches and other people and stuff too. So, I'm John Magnus, that's me. I'm an Eagle Scout. I have like 15-ish years experience doing like preparedness and prepping stuff. My website's johnmagnus.com, and if you go to /family preparedness, this video will be there along with the handouts that I printed and forgot to bring to the class. And my YouTube channel's John Magnus. You may be detecting a theme. Alright, so this is family preparedness class. It's about like stuff you're likely to run into. Not like end of the world zombies attacking you or anything like that. A comet. So the first thing you gotta do is sort through all the things that are likely to be emergencies that you have to run across. So stuff like flat tire, job loss, somebody in your family sick or in the hospital. Those things happen to people all the time. And they're the most likely things to happen. So those are the things you should prepare for first. And you need to make your own list, not just my list. And then winter storms, flooding, chemical spills, those things happen relatively often. Maybe once or... So like winter storms maybe once a year, floods maybe once or twice in your life, chemical spill maybe once in your entire life, pandemic, that'll never happen. We don't have to worry about pandemics ever happening. No, it's not just preparing for the pandemic itself, but also preparing for how people react to the pandemic. And then I put zombies down here. This is just a catch-all for like the Yellowstone supervolcano, a meteorite, stuff that's not going to happen. You don't need to worry about it. But yeah, make the thing in your list in your order. You come up with your own plan. What things are more likely to happen? Like if you own your own business, you're not likely to get laid off. But you might, like your business, suffer for some reason. If you're a single dude with no family ties really, your wife being sick and going to the hospital is not going to happen because you don't have one. So make your own list. And that's what we went over that. I guess I have that slide twice. Alright, so you gotta make your own plan. So these are ideas of stuff you should come up with. A way to stay with family and friends. Like, if I have to take Sarah to the hospital, take Thomas and Daniel to Katie and Adam's and their grandma's, and they can stay there while Sarah's in the hospital for a couple of days. Or like, if there's a chemical spill, you go to your buddy's house on the other side of town. Stuff like that. If you have an RV, have it pre-packed with stuff ready to go. I don't think you should buy an RV just for preparedness stuff unless you have a lot of money, and in which case you can pay me to help you design your preparedness plan. If you have enough money to spend on a $50,000 RV. Have the numbers for hotel rooms already like programmed in your phone or on a list in your bug out bag, because I know it's not very cool guy survivalist to go hang out in a hotel, but like when there's a chemical spill down the street and me and April had to go to a hotel because of the chlorine gas, we just went through the list that were already programmed in the phone and called the hotel room and found one that had an empty room that also allowed dogs. So you just grab the dog's head there, and we got there and we had the last room, and the reason we could get it is because we already had the reservations. If we would have just drove there like everybody else did, we wouldn't have gotten a room. Um, this is stuff me and Sarah need to work on. Getting your will done, power of attorney, your living will, and all your final wishes.
I have a will. You might want to know this. Jonathan goes to Debbie.
I think I got custody.
My final wishes are if you can find a cardboard box to bury me in out back or something like that. I don't really care.
You think I'm joking? My will says Jonathan and Glenn go to my mom and Debbie. My mom is dead, so they go to Debbie.
I said I think I got custody.
Okay.
Now.
So one thing that'll get you by a lot of like snowstorms, job losses, stuff like that is having extra food. Because what does everybody say? I gotta put food on the table and a roof over my head. So by paying your house off all is gonna be that's a big adventure. But it's pretty easy to get extra food. So you go to the grocery store. Normally you buy 3 cans of SpaghettiOs a month. You go to the grocery store. SpaghettiOs is on sale. You buy 4 cans, and then you save the other can of SpaghettiOs, and then eventually you have more SpaghettiOs. Same thing, green beans, potted meat, and then a good way to get your list is to get a cheap notebook, keep it in the kitchen, and every time anybody eats anything, write it down. And then, since most people do not have a very wide variety of menu, by the end of the month, you'll basically have everything written down that you eat. And then, if you buy stuff when it's on sale and slowly build up and buy a few cans every now and then, you'll have a deeper pantry without it actually costing a ton of money. If you buy in small amounts when you're doing this, you don't need to go to like the Mormon cannery and buy a pickup truck load of number 10 cans of taco meat. You can do that if you want to.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. Or you can go to one of the websites that every prepper channel on YouTube has a sponsorship with and order a skid of freeze-dried food for like $30,000. It's really cool, but this will get you by most things, and then work on later if you need to build up to those better, cooler guy stuff. Or buying rice and beans and corn and stuff like that and putting them in buckets. I think that's an important thing people should do, but not till you get the deep pantry stuff done.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, oats,
Yeah.
can you, if you put them in a bucket like
Yep.
that, they'll...
They'll last 20 years at least.
Okay.
Rhonda asked me how long the rice will last and sealed up in buckets like that. I'm like, I don't know, longer than you will.
20, 25 years?
No, rice will last, as long as it's not brown rice, it'll last like 75, 80 years at least in buckets.
As long as
sealed.
it doesn't get moisture in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Brown rice, because of the fat, it will get rancid.
Oh.
And
How long
then
does that take?
like 3-4 years. Depends on the exact variety of brown rice and how it's stored. And then also learn to cook differently and learn to cook with more storable ingredients. Learn to vary your diet a little bit with learn to like make your own bread and stuff like that, because like during the pandemic, there was a bread shortage, and all these people learned to make bread. It was a cool thing. Everybody on Facebook and stuff were making homemade bread, and then all the yeast ran out. So then the cool thing to do, everybody was making sourdough bread, capturing their own wild yeast. If you learn to do that stuff now, and not just with bread, with all kinds of stuff. And the plan is, after the first of the year, me and Sarah are actually going to do videos on how to cook with storable food.
Cool.
Like a video or two a month. Alright. So this is a basic kit. Not for the end of the world. Not to go fight Panamanian paratroopers that landed in your backyard. It meets short-term needs and also comfort items. It helps with things that are most likely to go wrong, and you already have most of it, and the list is in the handout that I left on the printer.
I look at him, we're 3/4 of the way here. I go, did you grab the bag? And he goes,
Oh,
yes.
that's it. So, this is a bag. It contains. This is Sarah's.
It's still a work in progress.
Yep, it's got most of the things. It's a work in progress, but we'll get it there shortly and get mine and the boys put together too. I got all the stuff. I got tons of stuff. It's just I'm not very organized, and I'm working on that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Before you get started, I know you're gonna say keep so many days medicine.
Yes.
How do you do that when you can't get?
There's lots of different strategies, but most of them are a pain in the butt. Most of them require you to find a doctor who's willing to help you do that. The other ones I don't recommend. They say like skip one of your medicines every 2 weeks or something like, and like no, that's if you're on a medicine you can skip. You should already be looking at cutting it back or getting rid of it anyway. Alright, so we're going to go through this. This is a simple little fire kit made out of a tin. A lot of people make them out of Altoids tins. It's just a lighter. Pretty. A little Ziploc bag we got in the hobby section of Walmart. It will have the insides of tampons in it. The reason it's in the plastic bag is to keep it from getting wet if you pull it out of the rest of the kit. The little ferrocerium rod. Sean's making a lot of noise out there. Hey, shoot sparks. I'm going to be doing a YouTube short on a cool lighter I found out about as soon as Amazon delivers them. They're not much more expensive than a Bic lighter, but a lot better. And then in here is a piece of lamp wick. I burnt the end of it with the lighter and then shoved it in here. Now you can take one little spark and this will light and you can take it and carry it to your fire.
Is that why you burnt the end so it
So,
spark?
Yep, so it catches the spark. And then the rest of what's in here is light chunks of wood. And you put them in here. You take everything out, especially the lighter. And you have a little hole in the top of this and you put it in a fire and it turns all your chunks of wood into charcoal.
It was like spongy wood.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah, if you can get like dried wood that feels all light and fluffy and spongy, like it's been rotten but dried out, that works ideally, but any wood will work. And then one little spark inside there.
Setting fires in church.
Yep. And that's, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a little ember in there already. I can just pull that out and make a fire with that. And then if you put that back in there, you put the lid on, it'll go out in a few minutes once it uses up all the oxygen in the tin. Cell phone cables, chargers, power bricks. We don't have one in here because we don't have a spare yet. Car chargers. That way you can always charge your phone. That way you can call for help or call to check on little Susie or make sure, tell their family that Timmy's doing all right in the hospital.
After he fell down a well.
Yeah, after Timmy fell down the well. Sarah's also got another lighter, pens, pencils, Sharpies. Swiss Army knives are really great. They're fairly cheap. Make sure you get a real Swiss Army knife. Don't get the Chinese ones. They're garbage. And a real Swiss Army knife's not that expensive. Because you have a decent little set of tools. Especially one that's really useful is a can opener. If you're someplace without a can opener and you have canned goods, it's really hard to open a can without a can opener. And the tweezers in Swiss Army knives are okay. You can buy upgraded tweezers now.
Really?
Yeah. And the toothpick's pretty good.
You lose them things as soon as you open it up.
You can buy, like, from Victorinox, like a box, like a little, about that size of an Altoids tin, just full of tweezers and toothpicks.
I might have to do that.
I don't know why they don't make them so they stay in there better.
They wear out.
Yeah.
Little notebooks, it's a good idea to have two. That way you can write down notes and hand it to somebody if they need to go somewhere, or send somebody to go do something with the notepad. Really good if you're in the hospital, or your spouse or your kids in the hospital and you're under a lot of stress. You can write down what the doctors tell you so you can remember it. Because unless you're used to being in those situations, it's really hard to remember everything. And even when you're used to it, it's not easy. Did you mean to leave this in there?
I did,
Okay.
because I use it occasionally.
Well, Sarah, because she uses it quite often, has one of these little sewing tape measures in there. It's not a bad idea.
It's like $1.
She's got this, what is it, 6-ish feet of paracord?
It's about 5-ish.
Between 5 and 6, because I'm between 5 and 6 feet tall. So I brought my big tub of all kinds of cordage.
Oh yeah, we were gonna put some
Yeah.
of that. And
So I love these little 1-inch rolls of Gorilla Tape, and the 2-inch Gorilla Tape's a little more expensive than duct tape, but much better than duct tape. And one thing a lot of people do is they'll wrap like duct tape, electrical tape, and medical tape around their water bottles so they can carry a bunch of the tape with them without taking up room.
I hadn't thought of that.
This is more 550 cord. We need to put like 25 or so feet of 550 cord in here. This stuff's cool. It's called bank line. Oh, hold on. The reason this is 550 cord is because it's rated for 550 pounds of strength. And if you cut 550 cord open, let me see if I have a piece. There we go. It has all these little strings, and each one of these you can actually pull out and have a smaller piece of cord if you need it. I don't know how well that's going to show up on the camera from this far away, but this stuff is called bank line. It smells like tar because it's nylon twine dipped in tar. And they make it in a whole bunch of different sizes. I have 3 different sizes here. It's not as strong as 550 cord, but the knots tie better, and it's a lot lighter, and you can store a lot more of it. We'll probably put this medium-sized one into the bug-out bags. And then another thing to have around, and I thought they were in here, zip ties are great because you can, they're zip ties. You can hold all kinds of things together with it. And they're really fast, easy. You don't need to know how to tie knots. This is some jute twine. It's really good for stuff that doesn't need a lot of strength. But you can also fluff this stuff up and use it for tinder, which is why the only reason I really use it is rope.
I said there's more stuff in that back
Yep.
pocket too.
Here's some bug spray. This is Cutter Lemon Eucalyptus. And we bought one of the big bottles and split it into these little, I think they were like $1.
They're the Walmart travel
They're little
section.
Walmart travel section bottles. And stuff like this, Ziploc bags are your friend. Also good idea to take, here it is.
I don't know why they're not there together.
And put sunscreen in there. And it doesn't hurt to put stuff in 2 Ziploc bags because this Ziploc bag has a hole in it. So that won't be very useful if that bug spray comes open. All the clothes will smell like lemon eucalyptus.
I think there's more.
I didn't know down that far.
Oh, I thought there was more down there, but there isn't.
No, just the 550 cord and the... Alright. A flashlight. Oh, the button's on the bottom. Because you can't see in the dark very well. And extra batteries for your flashlight. This one takes AAAs. It's not a bad idea.
Here.
I got it. It's not a bad idea to use AAA and AA flashlights for a kit like this, because it's easy to buy new batteries for those. My everyday carry flashlight's this one. It has all kinds of cool features to it, different brightnesses. But it uses an 18650 battery. So if it's dead, I can't swap out for batteries from Walmart. They sell CR123s, but they don't sell 18650s. But a lot of these 18650 or CR123s or any of these nicer higher end flashlights are USB rechargeable. So our phones are Type C, and this is micro, so you need the right cables or else you can't charge it.
Or the little adapter.
Or the little adapters. The little adapters aren't the greatest thing in the world. They're a little slow. And then we need to get some sort of bag to help waterproof them. But
I just checked stuff in because we were doing it. But
Yep.
yeah.
3 days-ish worth of clothes. Comfortable clothes that fit you well. You're going to be sitting in the hospital with your wife or in a storm shelter or your buddy's house because a tornado wiped out your house. Try to stay out of emergency shelters if you can.
I like to use the 2-gallon Ziploc bags for clothes. They're cheap, they're easy to replace, and they're easy. You can find them almost everywhere.
And it doesn't have to be matching clothes. It doesn't need to be nice clothes. It just needs to be clothes to keep you from being naked.
Like that was 2 t-shirts, a pair of shorts, and a pair of long pants.
Yeah.
You can also, with the Ziploc bags, roll them,
Yep.
and then the air goes out and they take up less room.
A towel and a wash rag and some soap goes a long way if you're in a hospital. Just being able to clean up in a bathroom or something like that.
Okay, you wouldn't have this problem, but shampoo.
Yeah, shampoo.
And that's another bag in there.
Yeah. Contractor grade trash bags. They're a little bit pricey, but if you can split them between a handful of people, because they're for contractors, so they come in great big giant boxes. But they're thicker than normal trash bags.
They're 3 mil, I think.
They're 3 mil instead of like 1 or 1.5 mil like most trash bags.
What about the ones that are made for leaves?
Same thing. Those are contractor. They're 3 mil. The thicker you can get, the better. You can use these. Set them down on the ground. If you have to kneel down to change a flat tire, you can cut some holes in them, put head and arm holes to make raincoat out of them. You can stuff your sleeping bag, like take 2 of them, cut the end off of one, put them together, stuff your sleeping bags in there, or just crawl in there if you have to get you out of the rain.
You can put your everyday carry bag in it.
Yep. Yeah, you can take the whole backpack and throw one in there if it's gonna nasty rain.
And I like to use rubber bands. Like, I rolled those up because I can't tell you how many times I've thought, man, I could really use a rubber band.
Yep. So the rubber bands, they hold it together, and they're rubber bands in case you need rubber bands later. All right.
And we didn't need the whole roll of toilet paper in there. I just shoved it in there.
Flushable wipes, like diaper wipe things to clean you up with, toilet paper, and it's always a good idea to keep an extra roll of toilet paper in your trunk of your car or something like that, because if it's a bathroom emergency, and you stop at a gas station, they're out of toilet paper, you don't want to run to the next gas station, so have your own toilet paper. Or like during the pandemic and people freaking out, somebody stole the toilet paper at work. And if you take the cardboard tube out, you can smash them up and then pull the toilet paper from the inside without having to make a big unrolled mess. Pull it out like Kleenexes. And like I said, most of this stuff you probably have laying around your house. So these are...
Here. So, shampoo. This is just the end of a small bar of soap because it was smaller and fit in there. I don't need to carry a full bar of soap around. Hair ties, bobby pins, that kind of stuff. if you get dirt or sand on you and you need to get it off really easy, baby powder or cornstarch works really well. You just sprinkle it on you and the dirt and sand brushes right off.
Or if you're wet and have chafing issues.
Yes.
Because the last thing you want is to have to walk to your buddy's house because of whatever reason and you're all wet and soggy and you gotta walk across town like that.
Or you go on a water ride in blue jean shorts and spend the rest of the day walking around Cedar Point and regret it every moment.
Being a Boy Scout leader, I've seen more than one kid walking during summer camp, walking up to where the health office is, all like that. I know, doctor, patient, confident. None of that. You can't be confident. You can't be secret. So then we got toothbrush, razor, comb. I don't need a comb. Little nail clippers, nail file, tweezers set. And then this is...
They're toothpaste tablets.
Yeah.
You just chew them and brush with them, and it just works with your spit.
Where did you get them? It works better with
Online.
Yeah.
From Amazon.
Yeah.
I really like them.
They'll work with your spit, but it works better if you, like Thomas just said, if you drink a little bit of water and get your mouth wet that way.
And you don't have to rinse after you use it. You probably want to, but you don't have to.
And like I said, most of the stuff you probably have laying around your house. Next time you go on a trip somewhere and you go to a hotel, don't pretend you're a giant and use the little tiny bottles. You save them for a bug out bag.
I can't remember the last time I was in a hotel.
And then this, I'm not going to open up and show it. For girls...
Feminine personal items.
Okay, something you don't have in there that it may be somewhere else, but eyeglass.
Yeah.
I normally have that in my purse, so.
Yeah, eyeglass parts, screwdrivers, screws. This is more...
This is like
this
medicine that I don't use all the time, but if I need it, I really need it, like my inhaler. Then there's, cough drops or ginger chews in case you have an upset stomach, and a couple tea bags.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
If your spouse is in the hospital or your kid's in the hospital, it'd be nice to go over where the coffee machine is, pour some hot water and have a nice glass of tea if you don't drink coffee, and relax. And then we got allergy medicine. This is some comfrey salve Sarah made. We have a video on making plantain salve. We'll probably do one on comfrey salve sometime.
I've got some comfrey soaking, so yes.
Hand sanitizer, because things are gross. People are gross. Don't touch other people and don't touch things that are gross. First aid kit. We already have some first aid items and the hand sanitizer and the tweezers and that kind of stuff. But you don't need a big cool guy first aid kit for a bag like this. Mostly what you need is like Band-Aids and Neosporin and eye drop stuff. And a big thing is Imodium. Because the number one thing that kills more people worldwide than anything else is diarrhea. And after a disaster, more people die of diarrhea. And you don't want to be a cool guy survivalist and die because you pooped your pants too many times. That'd be embarrassing. And then Sarah bought these guys, these little cases off of Amazon. And she's got like Tylenol, Advil, aspirin, Benadryl, ibuprofen, or Imodium, Zyrtec, and then some of the little teeny tiny hair bands in here too. She's got some other hair bands floating around in here, and I don't mean like
poison or white
poison,
snake.
yeah, white snake, not those kind of hair bands. Even though those are cool kind of hair bands. And this clear.
That one's not.
Yeah. So this has this clear waterproof bag built into it. She's got socks and underwear. You can't have too many socks and underwear.
That's the underwear.
Oh, this is the underwear in this one.
don't
It's
really have
unzipped.
to show the whole world. your
It doesn't
underwear.
zip.
Oh, it doesn't zip.
Because that folds into that bag. And
Yeah.
you're not carrying that bag?
Yeah, this bag folds up into its own pocket. And then she's got some gum in here. Good comfort item to have around. And I'm going to do a video sometime on different knives and stuff. She's got a Leatherman that she really likes it. I don't really recommend it because it's so big and bulky. But it's a Super Tool 300. If you're going to buy a multi-tool, buy the best one you can. Because cheap ones, you're just going to round the bolt off, and that you're going to be worse off than you were if you didn't have it. I carry the Leatherman Surge, which is about the same size as a Super Tool, but weighs more. And actually has less tools, but it's a more comfortable design if you're going to be using it for a long time. And I use it a lot, like multiple times a day. For most people, I recommend like the Wave, the P4, the Leatherman Free, some of the lighter Gerbers. These are just much bigger, beefier, bulkier than most people need.
But you use yours at least twice an hour, at minimum.
It seems that way. And another cool little knife are these Gerber exchange blades. They're just little tiny box cutters. And they fit on your belt, they disappear. You can hook them onto any strap or pocket, and they just hang out there. And they make one, I don't know where mine is off the top of my head, I definitely don't have it here. But they make these new ones, Menard sells them, you can buy them on Amazon. They look like regular pocket knives, but they have a lever on the back, and we can pull out a surgical grade stainless steel blade right out of them and slap another one in. And they just look like a regular pocket knife. That's what I use for butchering animals, because the blade gets dull, and they actually have butchering and fillet versions of that knife. And if the blade gets dull, you just pop it out, throw it on the side of an empty water bottle, or preferably a Gatorade bottle to keep the blades so they don't cut the garbage man. I'm losing the last of the bits and stuff. And
We'll get them.
that's pretty much everything for the kit. I'm going to put everything that's on the list for the kit and everything that was on the handout that corresponds with the PowerPoint that's no longer on the screen because my laptop fell asleep. I'm going to put all that in the description of the video. I'll share it with everybody in the group. And I'll put the video and this on the website. And it's johnmagnus.com/familypreparedness. I'll get that web page all up and running tonight. Or not /family-preparedness. Granola bars and food that doesn't melt. Almost forgot. So you don't want to have granola bars or you don't want to put a Snickers bar in there because it's going to melt in the heat. So we're trying. We got these overnight oat bars.
We haven't tried those yet.
We haven't tried those yet. I really like these Cliff bars. They make them in a whole bunch of different things. They're designed for outdoor adventure-y people, so they don't melt. We tried these Lar bars. Sarah and Thomas like them, and my mom likes them. Thomas is shaking his head. He doesn't like them. I don't really like them either. So, experiment.
I might keep them around as a treat.
And then we were walking around Walmart and found this yesterday. And they sell all kinds of these new baby food bag things. And we're going to try this one. But these are great because you don't need any utensils. You just squirt it in your mouth. And
They make refillable ones.
Yes, they do.
apparently they make refillable ones.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got these peanut butter ones. I've seen people on backpacking videos. They'll take the peanut butter one, squirt it in their mouth, put it in their bag. Pull out a honey one, squirt it in their mouth, put it in their bag. Pull out a handful of crackers and smash them up, put them in their bag, or in their mouth. And make a peanut butter and honey cracker thing right in their mouth while they're still walking. That sounds like it tastes awful and really dry your mouth out, but And you can spread these on crackers. We're also working on. We bought some of the. They didn't make it in here. Some of the little Pringles cans.
Oh yeah, those are still
Because the Pringles cans keep them from getting squished. We're also going to try to find a way to get some sort of crackers. Maybe put crackers in an empty Pringles can so they don't get squished. And I think that's everything we got. Any questions? Anybody?
Nope.
Alright. So I'll get this on the website and up on YouTube.
Except like we don't have to have the whole roll of toilet paper.
Yeah, you don't have to have the whole roll.
and-
And make this kit, you don't have to have everything exactly in this kit. Make this kit what you'll need for the type of emergencies. Oh, I just saw something. I had to take my phone case apart to do the video so it doesn't overheat because it's going to be a longer video. I keep inside my phone case behind,
Oh yeah.
between the case and the phone, $20. Because the odds of me losing my debit card and my phone at the same time is slim.
Yeah, somewhere in here.
Yeah, somewhere in here's a handful of cash. Too. Oh,
And
I
I
missed-
have I'm a diabetic, so I have my blood sugar test kit with me. I don't write checks very often, but occasionally I do encounter a situation where I could write a check if I don't have cash with me or something. So I put my checkbook in there as well as some cash. So
Yep. And when you look up bug out bags on YouTube. Oh, yep. Bandana, they're useful. You can use them to make more char cloth for your fire kit. You use them to clean up with. Use them to pre-filter water. Oh, water bottles. It's not a bad idea to put a single wall stainless steel water bottle. You can use those to drink out of like a drinking fountain, or throw those in a fire to sterilize the water. You want a single wall. If you have a double wall, they say that it's a vacuum between the two. It is a vacuum, but it's not like a perfect vacuum. So that little bit of air will expand and blow the side out of your water bottle, which make it really hard for it to hold water. So, and then we drink out of these, our everyday water bottle. These are Life Straws. They have built-in water filter. They make them in this size. And they make them in this smaller size. I have a whole video on water filters. I'll probably be doing another video soon on water filters and stuff. But these are great to throw in there too. Just if you're going to throw it in the bag and leave it, you cannot have a used filter in there because the used filter will have water in it and it'll grow mold on the output side of the filter, and that's gross.
and the replacement filters are on Amazon. I think they're like $25, and to get them from Lifestraw directly, I think they're like $22, but
Yeah.
with shipping and handling. So
And I prefer Life Straw over Sawyer. Sawyer stuff's a little bit cheaper. They filter the same, but Life Straw, for everything you buy from them, they donate filters and water systems and stuff to people in third world countries. So, like I've said like 4 times now, I think this is finally it.
this is
So,
the kind of thing that could go on forever, though.
Yeah,
You can always
like-
think of a situation to add
yeah,
something for.
like, if you look at most bug out bags on YouTube, like, this is my emergency camouflage shelter, this is my 500 whatever cool guy space blanket to hide in the woods with. I'll go over kits and stuff like that are designed to help you survive in the woods and stuff like that later. This is for the majority of the emergencies. This is for like this kind of stuff where you're most likely to see. We're not very likely to have to leave our house and go hide in the woods because we're being attacked by, the North Koreans.
The Russians are landing in the backyard.
Yeah. Notice there's...
Martians.
Yeah. You
Martians.
just play 50s music to get rid of the Martians.
Yep.
Notice there's no guns, big giant knives, machetes.
They don't usually let you carry that kind of stuff into a hospital.
Yep. And for most emergencies, You don't need that. I do carry my Glock on my hip or on the small of my back, but that's something separate. I think you should carry that with you every day. It shouldn't be in your kit. If you want to throw in an extra magazine, that's cool, but you'll see these videos like, this is my AR, and this is my sniper rifle, and this is my pistol, and this is my backup pistol. Like, dude, how much does your bag weigh? Can you pick that thing up? So, like I said, simple, can't get you through most of your problems. So, thanks for watching, and we, his servants, will start rebuilding. Did it stop?